Hey, what's up, guys? It's Alex Kennel coming at you live on YouTube with some Week 13 picks. Cannot believe we are 12 weeks going into our 13th week of the NFL season. Hard to believe 5 more weeks, and we are at the end of the regular season. Last week, not so good, 7-8, which brings us to 108, 68, and 1 on the year. Let's get into the Thursday night matchup. The 7-4 Dallas Cowboys taking on the 5-6 New Orleans Saints. One thing I do want to make note of is the records are all accurate. Last week, I wrote out the games a little early, so some of the games hadn't been played yet. Kind of caused myself some mass confusion, so apologize for that. All the records I'm going to go through are accurate. I literally just jotted this down before I went live. So all the records that you're going to hear are 100% accurate as of today. So, Cowboys and Saints. Cowboys have a little bit of a COVID crisis going on right now. Several coaches are not going to be in the Thursday game due to either testing positive for COVID-19 or being close contacts or whatnot. Don't think that's really going to matter anyway. Dallas, I think, is going to get the win here. They need a rebound game after getting beat by the Raiders on Thanksgiving. So I think this is a perfect opportunity for Dallas to bounce back. I got Dallas over New Orleans. Going into Sunday, this one I'm a little bit intrigued, not really intrigued, but baffled by, if you will. The 4-7 New York Football Giants taking on the 5-7 Miami Dolphins. I've got the Dolphins winning this game just because they're at home. There's actually a couple games I literally picked the home team just because they're at home. Giants got a upset win over Philadelphia last week, and Miami creamed Carolina last week. But like I said, I'm going to give the edge to Miami just because they're at home. And just because it sounds good. I mean, I don't have to have logic every time I make these picks, guys. But, I'm going to go with Miami at home. Next up, 6-6 Indianapolis Colts taking on the 2-9 Houston Texans. Colts Buccaneers last week was a great game. Close. Had Leonard Fournette not ran for 4 touchdowns last week. Indianapolis might have stood a chance. I don't think they're going to have their work cut out for them, have as much with the Houston Texans. I picked the Texans last week. Guess what, Houston? You blew it and you lost. Ain't picking you no more. I got the Colts going over the Texans in an AFC South. I can't even say showdown because it's not going to be much of a showdown. But I've got Indianapolis winning this one. Next up, we have the 5-6 Minnesota Vikings taking on the 0-10-1 Detroit Lions. Detroit, I've picked you twice this year. You know how many times that's paid off? 0. That's why you have 0 wins. Got the Vikings. Going over big injury news. Dalvin Cook is seemingly going to be out for the next 2 to 3 weeks, potentially with a dislocated shoulder. Alexander Madison is going to be taking over the lead back duties, which I don't think Minnesota is going to be in bad hands with that. Madison's been doing really well. I think he's been in like 2 or 3 games. Dalvin had an injury earlier on in the season, and he filled in fairly well for him. So like I said, against a lowly Detroit team, I don't think Minnesota is going to have too much trouble. I got the Vikings winning this one. Next up, the 5-7 Philadelphia Eagles taking on the 3-8 New York Football Jets. Jets got a win last week. Cool. Only bad thing is it was against the Texans. Jets haven't beat anybody prolific. Eagles, again, I take Philly. They stink up the joint. I don't take Philly, they win, but what the hell? But I am taking Philadelphia over the Jets. The Jets are horrendous, and I have no faith in New York. I really don't. No offense to any New Yorkers that watch my videos. Your football teams just suck. I mean, that's just the way of the world. So give me Philadelphia in that matchup. Next up, the 9-2 Arizona Cardinals taking on the 4-7 Chicago Bears. Cardinals have a half-game lead in the NFC as the number 1 seed, as they were off last week. Green Bay, who are on a bye this week, are right on their tails. And I've said this week in, week out. When it comes to playoff positioning, that pivotal game, that Arizona-Green Bay game where Green Bay won, it's going to play a part in the playoff seeding. I mark my words on that because I looked at Arizona's schedule. No game on there is particularly daunting, but I do think Arizona might lose 1 or 2 of their remaining games. And essentially, that's really all Green Bay needs. They need one Arizona loss because the Packers are at 3 losses, Arizona's at 2. The Bears barely got by Detroit on Thanksgiving. Maybe save Matt Nagy's job. I don't know. I've got the Cardinals all fucking day in this game. The Bears are absolute garbage. I've said that week in, week out. Potentially Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins coming back for Arizona. And if that's the case, that's just going to be more bad news for Chicago. Chicago's defense can't stop a truck. And when you've got, Kyler Murray, a mobile quarterback, you got DeAndre Hopkins, one of the best wide receivers in football. Chicago's in for a long day. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. Cardinals all freaking day in that game. Next up, an interesting one. 6-5 San Diego, or still want to call them San Diego because that's the Chargers I've known to be in San Diego most of my life. But the 6-5 Los Angeles Chargers taking on the 7-4 Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals had their way with Pittsburgh last week. I've got the Chargers winning this game in an upset. It might be an upset. I don't know. I'm not sure what it is about this game, why I'm taking the Chargers. I'd love to see Cincinnati do something this year. Cincinnati's been to 2 Super Bowls. They've never won one. Not saying Cincinnati's going to get to the Super Bowl by any means, but I do think the Bengals will be a playoff team. Speaking of playoff teams, in the description now, from now until the end of the regular season, I will be having weekly playoff seedings, where they stand going into the week. Like, for example, like after week 12 is what's in there right now. So it's going to fluctuate on a weekly basis or whatnot. But, yeah, give me the Chargers in an upset. I don't know why. I don't know. I really don't know why. I'm reaching on that one. But 8-3 Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the 5-6 Atlanta Falcons. The Buccaneers are another one of those teams. I think the NFC is it's gonna come down. It's gonna be a rematch. It's gonna be Green Bay and Tampa Bay in the NFC title game. And that scares me. As a Packer fan, that scares me. But in this game, the Falcons, they're in some, they're out of some, they're in some, they're out of some. At the end of the day, Tampa Bay is going to win this game. I don't look for Atlanta to do much as far as like an upset goes. I mean, they'll put points on the board. Tampa Bay's defense is porous, but when you've got God Brady, all hail. On the other side, like I said, I can't stand Tom Brady, but you can't deny what Tom Brady is. He's a great quarterback. He's a playmaker, and that's Matt Ryan coming at the end of his career per se. I don't like Atlanta in this game at all. Give me Tampa Bay all the way. Next up, 5-6 Washington football team taking on the 6-5 Las Vegas Raiders. I've got the Washington football team going over in this one. The Raiders are another team that's funny. Every time I pick them, they lose. Every time I go against them, they win. So I don't really know what to make of this. But I don't know. The key thing for Washington is that defense. Not saying much against Seattle because Seattle's played like piss all year, but they were able to beat Seattle this past Monday, which surprised me. I don't know if that's just a testament to how good Washington is or how bad Seattle is, or a combination. I don't know. But I'm going with the Washington football team in this one. Next up, 8-3 Baltimore Ravens taking on the 5-1 Pittsburgh Steelers. Talked about the Steelers a little bit with the Bengals in the Bengals preview. Pittsburgh's not scaring anybody. Pittsburgh is a shit team this season. The Ravens, as of right now, they hold down the number 1 seed in the AFC. We'll talk about my perennial favorites here after these next few games. But in this game, I got Baltimore all the way. Like I said, Pittsburgh's not intimidating anybody. They're not scaring anybody. I'm not convinced that Pittsburgh is going to go over against Baltimore in this one. Next up, 6-5 San Francisco 49ers taking on the 3-8 Seattle Seahawks. This is the first time since before Russell Wilson came to Seattle that the Seahawks are 5 games below 500. And it shows. The Seahawks are playing badly. They're playing bad offensively. They're playing bad defensively. Hence why I've got the 49ers winning this game. If you can't beat the Washington football team, the 49ers, I think, are better than the Washington football team. How are you gonna handle that? They're not. I think San Francisco going over there. Sunday night matchups, 6-5 Denver Broncos taking on the 7-4 Kansas City Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs all day in this one. I think the Chiefs are slowly starting to solidify themselves from the rest of the AFC West. I do not think they are the team to beat in the AFC. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. But I do think that they're good enough to beat Denver at home. So give me Kansas City all day in that one. Monday night, this is going to be a great game. The 8-4 New England Patriots taking on the 7-4 Buffalo Bills. This is a coin flip, in my opinion. I'm taking Buffalo, and I'm taking Buffalo for one reason. They're at home. I think Buffalo and New England, who play each other again because they're division rivals in New England, I think New England's going to take that game at home. I think these two teams are going to basically, take their respective home games. The Patriots, what can you say right now? The Patriots are surging right now. I think they've won like 6 in a row or something like that, 7 in a row, something like that. They were left for dead in like 4 or 5 weeks into the season, and now look at where they are now. But like I said, just because it's at Buffalo, I'm taking Buffalo. Again, that's just the only thing Buffalo has in this game is they're playing at home. That's my only, other than that, that's just the way I see it. Bye weeks. We have the Carolina Panthers, the Cleveland Browns, the Green Bay Packers, and the Tennessee Titans on a bye this week. Before we go into the recap, I do kind of just want to talk about the playoffs and whatnot. And really it comes down to this, guys. In the AFC, there are 2 teams I think it's going to come down to. 1, the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 2, the New England Patriots. Do I think the Chiefs are the team to beat right now? I don't. I honest to God think the New England Patriots are the odds-on favorite to win the AFC right now and represent the AFC in Super Bowl 56. It sounds crazy, but it's hard to go against New England right now. On the NFC side of things, and I'm not saying this because I'm a fan. I'm saying it because you just looking at the stats. The number 1 team, in my opinion, is the Green Bay Packers, guys. The Packers, they're 9-3. They're going into their bye week. Yes, Aaron Rodgers is injured. Aaron Jones is still a little bit banged up, but now they have a week to rest. And now the key thing about Green Bay is they're beating quality teams without like a shit ton of our starters. Like there's like 4 or 5 defensive starters. Jair Alexander, Zadarius Smith, Rashawn Gary, I think played in the Ram game, but he's still banged up. We were missing in the Rams game. We were missing 3 of our offensive tackles, but we're winning games. We're not beating piss poor teams. We beat Arizona. We beat the Rams. Everybody's like, "Oh, the Rams! They got Cooper Kupp and they got Odell Beckham." Didn't matter. So yeah, as of now, going into Week 13, my Super Bowl 56 matchup is New England and Green Bay. That's just and obviously you cannot not factor in Tampa Bay in the NFC playoff picture. I think Tampa Bay. I said this last year, long before I started doing NFL pick videos, guys. I had said last year when Green Bay got to the NFC title game, I said if they see anybody other than Tampa Bay, they're going to go to the Super Bowl. But I was like, if they hit Tampa Bay, if Tampa Bay comes to Lambeau, Tampa Bay will go to the Super Bowl, and that's exactly what happened. I think it's a similar situation. I think if Green Bay plays anybody but Tampa Bay, they'll go to the Super Bowl. If they play Tampa Bay, I think it's going to be the same result. But that's my perennial Super Bowl 56 matchup is New England and Green Bay. I think it's the 2, and that's probably going to fluctuate week to week, guys. I'm not saying that's here it is. It's set in stone. Deal with it. No, that's just my opinion. You can let me know your opinion in the comment section all you want. To recap, I have the Cowboys over the Saints, Dolphins over the Giants, Colts over the Texans, Vikings over the Lions, Eagles over the Jets, Cardinals over the Bears, Chargers over the Bengals, the Buccaneers over the Falcons, Washington football team over the Raiders, Ravens over the Steelers, 49ers over the Seahawks, Chiefs over the Broncos, and the Bills over the Patriots. There we go. My weekly YouTube video or videos. I've uploaded actually 2 or 3 videos today. But yeah, there we go, guys. There's my picks. Let me know in the comment section if I'm crazy, if I'm not crazy, and what your thoughts and opinions are on the playoff picture. Like I said, all that is listed in the IAA video description. So until next week, guys, with picks, I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care, guys.